JAP225, Strategy Number 1, Day 7 Lecture Script. Wednesday, May 27th, 2026. Welcome, traders. In today's session, we are reviewing JAP225 using Strategy Number 1 on Day 7. The focus of this lecture is discipline, execution, and consistency. The strategy remains simple and mechanical. At every setup, a long order is placed 100 pips above the midpoint. A short order is placed 100 pips below the midpoint. Once price activates one side, the opposite order is immediately deleted. We then allow the market to decide the outcome while strictly following risk management rules. Let's go through the trading day step by step. Trade number 1, 0-0. The first trade started at midnight. Orders were placed. Long order 100 pips above the midpoint. Short order 100 pips below the midpoint. The market moved upward, activating the long trade. Immediately, the short order was deleted. The strategy was followed exactly as planned. Price initially moved strongly in the correct direction, later retraced, but the trade still closed with a profit of 500 pips. An excellent start to the trading day. Trade number 2, 0.50. At 0.50, a new setup appeared. Again, long order above midpoint, short order below midpoint. The market moved upward once more, activating the long position. The short order was deleted immediately. Price moved in favor of the trade before reversing slightly. Final result, 100 pips profit. Another successful execution. Trade number 3, 0.110. At 110, the next setup formed. This time, the market moved downward, activating the short trade. The long order was deleted. The trade respected the strategy perfectly and continued strongly in the bearish direction. Result, 600 pips profit. This was one of the strongest trades of the session. Trade number 4, 0.140. At 140, orders were placed again using the same structure. The market moved upward, triggering the long position. The short order was removed. Price moved correctly, then later reversed. Final outcome, 200 pips profit. Consistency continued. Trade number 5, 240. At 240, another opportunity appeared. The market moved downward and activated the short trade. The long order was deleted. The trade moved into profit before retracing. Final result, 100 pips profit. Small but controlled gains are important for long-term success. Trade number 6, 0.320. At 320, the market triggered the long setup. The short order was removed after activation. Initially, price moved in the correct direction, but later reversed immediately. This trade closed with 200 pips loss. Losses are part of trading. The important point is that the strategy rules were still followed without emotional decisions. Trade number 7, 0.440. At 440, the next setup activated. The market moved downward, triggering the short trade. The long order was deleted. This trade performed well and closed with 200 pips profit. Importantly, this trade recovered the previous loss completely. This demonstrates the power of disciplined execution. Trade number 8, 0.525. At 525, the market triggered another long trade. The short order was deleted immediately. Price moved correctly at first, but later reversed. Result, 200 pips loss. Again, losses are accepted as part of the system. Trade number 9, 610. At 610, the market activated a short trade. The long order was deleted. The trade moved smoothly in the correct direction. Final outcome, 200 pips profit. This trade once again recovered the previous losing trade. The strategy continued to prove its balance between risk and recovery. Trade number 10, 0.740. At 740, another short setup activated. The long order was removed. Price initially moved correctly, but later reversed. Final result, 200 pips loss. Even after losses, discipline remained unchanged. Trade number 11, 0.810. At 810, a long trade was triggered. The short order was deleted. The market moved but failed to provide continuation. This trade closed at break-even. 0 pips. No profit and no loss. Sometimes protecting capital is the best result. Trade number 12, a 13. At 13, another long setup activated. The short order was removed. This trade moved strongly in the intended direction. Final result, 200 pips profit. This trade successfully covered the earlier loss. Trade number 13, 1325. The final trade of the session started at 1325. The market moved downward, activating the short trade. The long order was deleted. Price continued strongly in the bearish direction. Final outcome, 600 pips profit. A powerful finish to the trading day. Tesh, end of day summary. Today's performance clearly demonstrated the importance of following the trading plan, removing emotional decision-making, respecting risk management, and allowing probability to work over multiple trades. Some trades resulted in losses, some produced moderate gains, and a few delivered exceptional profits. But the key lesson is this: the strategy was followed consistently from beginning to end. Final result for the day. Total profit equals 2,100 pips. Excellent discipline, excellent execution, and another strong day using strategy number 1 on JAP225.